Hello and welcome to this video. My name's Ben and this is the UK Historian YouTube channel. Firstly, I should apologise because the last time I did a video for the channel was back in November, but what with lockdown, things going on with hassles and work commitments, then we're doing up the house and just generally been winter and busy. I haven't really got around to doing many videos lately, but I've still been reading the books, getting the books, and they're slowly filling up the rest of the house. Anyway, I'm planning to get back into it again, so hopefully we'll have more videos more regularly. So, well, let's get going. I've got some books today. Some I've read and some that have just come this morning. So I'll let you see what they are. First book up is one I have read. And it's an excellent book. And it's German Prisoners of the Great War. Edited by Anne Buckley. And it's about life in a Yorkshire prisoner of war camp. Skipton in West Yorkshire during the First World War. So basically they had obviously a need to house German prisoners of war, so they were brought over and housed in these camps. Let's just turn that light on so we get a bit of extra light. But basically, this is an excellent book, and it tells you all the everyday activities that German prisoners got up to, from the menus, the work drills, recreation, the small groups or clubs they could have. They even had a theatre group, and there were also plans in, like we've all seen the Second World War prisoner of war camp films. There was even escape attempts and that sort of thing, so that's what it goes into. And it's a decent sized book, German Prisoners of the Great War, and to be honest, it's probably one of the best books I've read in the past few months. It's published by Pen and Sword Books, and it's just £25. That's UK money. I'm not sure what that is in US, but you'll certainly find it online. If you go to Pen and Sword Books, you'll find it there, and it's a really, really good book. I'll do two books next. One of my pet subjects I really adore is the American West, and here we have the Lawmen of the West, and we have, to go with it, the Outlaws of the Wild West, both written by Terry C. Treadwell. They're published by Frontline Books, and if you're a fan of just like cowboys, Indians, the American West, you will really love these books. And they're basically about the lawmen and the bandits. There's the contents page, and basically it's each chapter looks at each individual outlaw. So you've got William Clark Quantrell, the James Boys, Bill Doolan, Henry Starr, the Wild Bunch, Billy the Kid, the Evans Gang, Big Nose George Parrott, the Cowboys, the Dalton Brothers, and there's even a chapter on female outlaws. And it's a really good read. Each chapter is good. It goes from like from their early experiences from when they're in their childhood, and takes you through their life, what they got up to, what jobs they were, what professions they were in, and why they became outlaws in the first place. But really, and then it really takes you up to, like, did they get to old age, or were they killed, caught by the sheriffs and hung? It's a really good book. And the next one, The Lawmen, is more or less the same sort of theme, and it's written in the same style by the same author. Again, it takes each chapter, looks at an individual lawman. So we've got, again, if I go through this list, James Butler Hickok, Chris Madsen, John Kingfisher, Wyatt Earp, Pat Garrett, Ben Daniels, Padden Talbot, and then you've got the Texas Rangers. They look at Mysterious Dave Mather, Dan Tucker. So, I mean, in this book it looks at 36 different lawmen and gives you roughly the same sort of thing. Looks through their life, who they came into contact with, and for the Wild West, it just basically explains why they were, people were like that, how everything was growing, towns were being formed, the West was being founded, and basically, the whole population was moving westwards. So you had all the bad guys that needed to be controlled by the lawmen. But they are two excellent books. And then I've got three that actually came this morning. We've got Philip, Prince of Greece. This is the Duke of Edinburgh, and this book looks at his early life. And I presume, by the looks of the book, it's sort of the early life, and then it feels like there's going to be another couple of books afterwards that look at his life, like in progression or in stages. Looks at what he achieved, marrying the Queen, their relationship, their children, and what he got up to when he was able to work, or his life in service as the Queen's husband. It looks quite interesting. It should be formative, and it includes like some picture sections there. This one's obviously is when he's growing up as a child. So that looks like it's going to be an interesting read, because we don't know much about, obviously, his youth. And then the next book I've got is The Jungle War Against the Japanese, from the Veterans Fighting in Asia, 41 to 45. And it's written by one of my favourite authors, Tim Heath. He does a lot of books about German history. I've got quite a few, or I've got a few of them anyway. Hitler's Housewives, Women of the Third Reich, the Creating Hitler's Germany. I think I've also got another one of his books that I need to read as well. But I'm presuming this is looking at war in the Far East during Second World War, and looking at the Japanese in particular. So that should be a good and interesting book. I shall let you know about that in the next week or so when I've read it. And then the final one, a bit of a lighter read, which has turned up today, which is The Remarkable Story of Fred Spikesley, the first working class football hero. Now obviously if you're over here in Britain that's football, if you're in America that's soccer. It looks like it comes from the era of the turn of the century, sort of late 1800s to the early 1900s. But it looks good. The story and the write-up. Gainsborough's Fred Spikesy was one of the first working class youngsters in 1887 to live the dream of becoming a professional footballer, before later finding a role as a globe-trotting coach. He thus dodged the inevitability of industrial, poorly paid, dangerous labour. Lightning fast, Spikesley created and scored hundreds of goals, including, to the great joy of the future Queen Mary, who chased him down the touchline, 3 against Scotland in 1893. The outside left scored both Sheffield Wednesday's goals in the 2-1 defeat of Wolves in the 96 FA Cup final at Crystal Palace. Forced by injury to stop playing at 36, Spikesley had ventured out into the world. He acted with Charlie Chaplin, escaped from a German prison at the start of the First World War, and later made the first talking football training film for youngsters. As a coach he managed Sweden, Mexico, the USA and Germany, becoming the last Englishman to coach a German title winning team with 1FC Nuremberg in 1927. So that seems quite lively and it should be quite good. That's the remarkable story of Fred Spikesley, the first working class football hero. And that's also published by Pen and Sword Books. Just to mention, going back to these two, the Tim Heath book, The Jungle War Against the Japanese, is also published by Pen and Sword Books and is 1999. And the Prince Philip one was published by Pen and Sword Books, and that's yours for £25. And that's where we'll end it today. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, I will try and do some more videos more regularly, so I'll probably do one in the next couple of days, and we'll do a variation of the videos as well. Thank you all very much for watching. If you'd like to follow me, then you're more than welcome. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at The History Fella, or you can visit my website at ukhistorianbendavidson.co.uk. And please feel free to subscribe to these videos and this channel, or best of all, tell your friends and share it around. Let's see how we can improve the channel even more. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.